Hey Cancer, your January tarot reading is ready. I am Eleanor. Welcome to Pink Pearl Tarot. I have your main themes, your week-to-week forecast, career and finance, and then love. Now your main themes this month, I have gotten you a fairy blessing, and you have the blessing of the mothers, and a synchronistic symbol, which is the bitten apple. So this is an interesting combination to have in your overall. It shows kindness coming your way, possibly in the form of wisdom or knowledge or new information, downloads, insights. There's a sense of what goes around comes around being at play, but in a good way, like the good you have put in coming around, sacrifices that you have made being seen and acknowledged. So you might feel like you're catching some lucky breaks, but it isn't luck, it's earned. It's what you have put into the flow. So this isn't so much of a warning here, but just a reminder with these cards not to let it go to your head. Keep up the good work and keep living from your heart. But mostly this is your time to receive. And the apple also represents your pursuit of knowledge. So keep an open mind this month. Week 1, you have the Seven of Spears reversed with the Two of Cups. This indicates some sort of partnership trying to form, but it would require you putting your guard down and letting someone get close. So it's quite possibly romantic, but not necessarily, since this isn't the actual love section of the reading. It could be someone wanting to create a business alliance, or a family member wanting to bond, or a friendship trying to blossom. But it appears from this to be something healthy, something genuine and well-intentioned, maybe even divinely sent. Like there's a difference between vulnerability and not having any boundaries. You can still open yourself up to a connection and maintain your boundaries at the same time. And the best way to do that is self-awareness and honest communication. So authenticity, essentially. And it takes strength to protect your boundaries when it is in your nature to be kind and empathetic. It doesn't serve whatever this connection is to lose yourself in it. That's really important here. Now, week 2, you have the Three of Spears with the King of Swords. Your words could carry tremendous power right now. This shows your rational and logical mind stepping up to the plate to handle a situation that involves a delay or things not working out as expected. You might have to practice expert professional level communication, letter writing like you might have learned in business school, like know your shit basically. If it's not external communication, it could be your own internal problem solving capabilities to figure out why something hasn't resolved the way it should have, or the way you predicted or expected, but it came back in a different way, time, form, etc. The only thing with this, though, is that with power comes responsibility. So while you have the power to communicate clearly, you also have the power to injure. So I feel like there's a delicacy and a grace necessary here. Also featuring large with this combination, learning lessons. So something in the pursuit of knowledge that sometimes we have to learn the hard way. Now, honestly, this looks kind of minor, but the value of the lesson could be incalculable. It's almost like just a gimme, or like in Arrested Development when they say, well, that was a freebie, right? It's like, yeah. Week 3, you have the World with the High Priestess. So you are closing a major chapter around this time and feeling whole. Whole like in a way you maybe never have, or just for the first time in a long time because the journey has been long. And like as the Red Witch in the Game of Thrones says, that's her right there, it's the night is long and full of terrors, I think she says, and that's what it's felt like. But with the World, you have made it through the dark night and you've emerged successful and victorious. So the wisdom bestowed on you with this bitten apple in your theme, it's not just factual knowledge that the King of Swords would use, but also keen insights from your intuition, and that by putting them into practice, you can resolve something finally in a way that makes it done. Don't have to repeat that lesson ever again. Done. And I feel like maybe that's why you're getting this blessing of the mothers. It's rewards for all of your hard work, because you are at a peak point in your journey and it's time to collect on some of the goodwill and the love that you've put into the flow. Now, week 4, you have the Hierophant reversed with strength. So you're going against the grain in a major way here at the end of the month. It's going to take a lot of personal power and discipline to buck the system and fight convention, whether it's to advocate for yourself, to do what's right for someone else, or like to maintain your integrity and principles. But you will have the strength because you have divine support right now. It feels like very spiritual warrior like. It's like you've woken up to something, perhaps the way some system of power has been operating in your life. And from now on, you might choose to move forward more intentionally to subvert that system in whatever small or big way that you can. And for career and finance, you have the Ten of Wands with the High Priestess reversed. Definitely a busy time. There might be lots on your plate. Deadlines, commitments, responsibilities, people counting on you to follow through, orders to fill, being understaffed, and so you have to pick up the slack. All of that great fun stuff. It could get very loud and difficult to find that time and space and quiet to tune into your intuition. And what you do get from it, you might be more apt to question it or mistrust it for some reason. So watch out that you don't just flat out ignore it or go against it, because it could also be here that everything feels more heavy than it has to because you aren't allowing the assistance, that you aren't relying enough on it and trying to carry too much of the burden yourself. It's like maybe you just know something without knowing how you know it, but rather than trust it, you're like, no, I need to find evidence. I need to do the work to back it up or something like that. It's like doing more work than you have to when you have a perfectly good team that's supposed to carry some of that load for you. And that could be because of a little bit of a control issue. But I mean, that's not for everybody. But I think some of you, not all, but some of you might think that you know better than what the universe is trying to nudge you to do. I mean, we all get that way sometimes. So, which is fine. Just know that the burden could be lighter if you would let it be. Because with that apple, sometimes we know too much for our own good. Now for love, you have the Four of Wands with the Star reversed. Something that you had given up on hope on might actually be coming together at this time. It could be marriage, moving in together, an engagement, or just moving from situationship to a commitment or exclusivity. Obviously, for some of you, it's indicating something more official than others, but it is something generally considered a positive step forward on the relationship escalator, let's say. But it's something that you either thought would never happen, something you're coming into the month having given up hope on, or you didn't even dare to dream about it in the first place. But for some of you even, it happens just at the moment that you lose hope. It's kind of like, isn't there an Alanis Morissette lyric, like, the moment that I let go of it was the moment I got more than I could handle. It's like there's a reward at the moment of surrender. So no, it's not saying to give up, but to surrender. They're different. It reminds me, there's a scene in that Divergent, I don't know how great of a movie it is, but like when Triss has to leap into that dark hole as part of her induction into her new faction or whatever, and she just has to be courageous and jump in blind. Like maybe she's jumping to her death, I don't know. And of course, not too far down, there's a safety net, but knowing it was there would defeat the purpose of taking that leap. So that Four of Wands, it does feel very much like that safety net in this context. So that's what I have for you, Cancer. This is an awesome way to start out the year. Much love, and I'll talk to you next month. Thank you.